And a timeless rule is something that does not change. A timeless rule transcends space and time, and it works good today, and it works as well today as it did yesterday. And in a time when the economy is not working, and the government is not working, and there appears to be no one using common sense, we need a few timeless rules. Amen. When the government shuts down and the country refuses to pay its bills, we can use some timeless rules. When the political right and the political left refuse to find common ground for the best interests of the people, we need some timeless rules. When an entire nation can be held hostage by a small political group inside of a larger political group, we need some timeless rules. When a special interest group can stand in the way of changes that are needed to keep weapons of mass destruction out of the person's hand who are known to be troubled and unpredictable, we need some timeless rules. Y'all might not say amen, but I know amen goes right there. We need something. We need something that we can count on, and something that we can depend upon. Something that will be the same today as it was yesterday. We need something because every line that distinguishes right from wrong has either been blurred or erased. Almost everybody has the me mentality. People used to make deals with a handshake, but the handshake has been replaced with prepaid legal. Because it's not a matter of if you're going to need a lawyer, but when. There was a time when all you heard about was life insurance. But now you have to have insurance for everything. You have to have liability insurance, and homeowners insurance, and renters insurance, and malpractice insurance. And you know it's gotten bad when you have to put a rider on the policy for the man of God to be able to talk to his church members. During my granddaddy's times, wills were almost unheard of. When somebody died, the family would gather around the kitchen table and carry out the wishes of the one who was deceased. But now, somebody say, but now, if you don't have a will, and I mean a good, solid, ironclad, court-sealed will, people will fight to the death over stuff they didn't earn, they didn't buy, and most of the time don't even deserve. I know you see, girls, I'm getting in there this morning. With all of the distractions and all of the diversions and all of the confusions and the lines of demarcation being crossed at every turn, Christians need a mirror that would give them a reflection of what they really look like. And that's what the children did yesterday at the YPD meeting. And that's what Jesus does in this Sermon on the Mount. He holds up a mirror and shows the disciples what a Christian should look like. He tells the disciples in chapters 5, 6, and 7, if you are going to be one of my followers, this is what you have to look like. In chapter 5, he starts out talking about attitude. Somebody say attitude. Theologians call them the Beatitudes. Now, what I found interesting was this. If you transpose Beatitudes, you come up with what your attitude should be. I need to ask you a question right here. I said, can I ask you a question? Somebody say, ask a question, preacher. Have you ever met somebody who had an attitude? Let me see your hand if you've ever met somebody that had an attitude. Well, if I didn't see your hand, you're probably the one with an attitude, and everybody else put up the children. You do know that there are some people who need an attitude adjustment, don't you? Till somebody says, he talking about you. There are 9 Beatitudes mentioned in chapter 5. or should I say chapter 5 gives 9 attitudes that the Christian should have. But don't look at me funny and don't get worried. I'm not going to keep you all day. I'm only going to talk about one this morning. Verse 1 says, and seeing the multitude, he went up on the mountain, and when he was seated, his disciples came to him, and he began to teach them, saying, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, blessed are the meek, blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness, blessed are the merciful, blessed are the poor at heart, blessed are the peacemakers, blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Now the text opens up talking about a multitude of people, a crowd of people. But what was interesting to me is, out of all the people that were in the crowd, only the disciples came to Jesus. I keep telling you all that this whole thing of kingdom building is a numbers thing. And this text proves my case. There were a lot of people in the text. The Bible said that it was a crowd of people, but only a few people come to Jesus. This text is tailored to teach us that people will come, but sometimes only a few will stay. That's why you can't stop inviting people to Jesus, because you don't know who's going to stay, and you don't know who's not going to stay. Oh, y'all ain't working with me. But you do know one thing. Everybody you encounter needs Jesus. Oh, yeah. I'm sure that out of all of the people that were in the crowd in this text, more than the disciples needed Jesus. Look at the text. When the disciples get to Jesus, he begins to teach them. Let me tell you something. Everybody that comes to the church is not ready to be a disciple. So don't be discouraged when you invite and they come and they don't stay. Understand that they're just not ready, because on the onset you knew that they needed him. Your job is to not get weary in well-doing, because you will eat from the fat of the land if you faint not. You see, a disciple is a learner. He is a doer. He is a follower. And what I found out is everybody in the crowd is not ready to be a disciple. I was preaching real good right there. Y'all didn't say nothing. Yeah, I was preaching real good right there, but y'all didn't say nothing. Y'all gonna work me hard this morning, and I'll work up. But I'm going to keep hammering this thing until you get it. Everybody in the crowd is not there for the same reason. Some of the people in the crowd were there to see what they could get. Others were in the crowd looking for a sweetheart or a boyfriend. Y'all ain't saying nothing. I know you don't believe me, so I'll just go ahead on and prove it. People will hang out in the street, spend their youth, spend their money, and spend up even their health. Then they'll come running to the church talking about, I'm looking for a good woman. And I won't be a cripple. I won't be a Christian man. Everybody in the crowd doesn't come for the same thing. But when they come, you don't need to run them off. Because if they keep hanging around the church, if they keep hanging around the saints, if they keep hanging around the disciples of Jesus Christ, something is going to happen. And when that something happens, eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. Because if they hang around long enough, somebody's soul gonna catch on fire. Oh yeah, I know right about it. I got to get out of that. Let's not keep you too long. And I tell you.